Yes, sir.
The return.
The return.
All around the world and back.
Welcome back to the Touch the City podcast. We have been away. We know we took a nice break, nice little hiatus, and we back with what I'm essentially calling season 2 of Touch the City.
Yeah, season 2.
Refreshed.
Season 2, right. Mandatory health break. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. Protect your mental health.
Protect the mental health, rejuvenate, feel refreshed, go do some things that require step away from the computer for extended amounts of time that we'll delve into later, feel me? Mm-hmm. But now we back. We got so much shit to talk about because so much shit happened in that time that we were gone. What a break for us to take time-wise. So let's jump into it. We haven't seen we haven't done this in 3-4 weeks. So I'm not gonna ask how's your week. How was your hiatus? How was your break? How was your time away?
It's definitely been a lengthy hiatus, bro. Just like you've hit on, Ron. I mean, just like, when you think about what has it been, a month? I think we took a full month off, and I mean it was well needed. It was well needed, bro. I mean, I know we kind of started off, we say, protect your mental health, but that shit really is a thing. I don't think a lot of people understand. A lot of people do understand. I would imagine that everybody has a thing or something that they wake up to every single day or every single week of their life. They're handling something on a 9-to-5 schedule, or at least planning to put something out, or they assist in producing something or produce hard work or of some sort. They have something to show for their lives every single day, obviously, or else they wouldn't be alive. At the end of the day, week to week, though, to show you. And I don't want to sit here and make it seem like potting is a chore, but we was really out there, man. We was growing. We was hit to hit to hit. We was fucking the Black Beatles. You feel me? It was just two people. You feel me? We was out here just back to back, just fucking watch the Throne, Ye and Jay in his prime, every single week.
We want to ensure we giving you that quality over the quantity. Even if we could do a week to week, but if it's that week, sometimes it ain't hitting. Sometimes you just gotta be like, you know what?
You gotta take that little break.
We'll come back to it. Yeah.
Facts. So definitely with that that month break, I was a lot of recollection. You're allowed to recollect your thoughts. You sit back, you relax. I actually took a vacation, celebrated wifey's birthday. We actually took a road trip, hit the road, crossed the world, at least to us, because that shit felt like it. You driving a car for over 10 hours to Florida. So not hot spots. We are actually still playing it COVID safe. We don't fucking play with this this virus. We've seen it firsthand, and just what it does. We're in New York, we're in one of the hot spots. Not only personally and family wise, but you've seen the loss and the devastation that shit ravaged and can cause and affect and continue to affect, in the coming months and years. So we don't want to sit there and get caught up in that bullshit. We didn't go to no Miami or nothing like that. We took our ass to, I think, West Florida. And I'm not gonna lie, I never heard nothing about that. Wifey just kind of threw it up in the air. Hey, we're going to West Florida, and it was cool. I don't want to sit there and beat too hard into the place, but it was definitely an interesting experience. To keep it kind of civil. It was definitely I think a reminder that unfortunately in this world, man, you just kind of find that there is not many places for people of color. There's just not. People of color and people that look like us. You guys, you'd be hard pressed to find that there's tons of people in the world that are successful that look like us. It's so crazy. And that's not something where you nose up. It is one of those situations where you kind of you sit back why is it like that over here? Why is it like this? Why is there not equal opportunity for these people? Why is it that in only one place in the country seemingly, or a couple places in the country seemingly, people could succeed that look like me? Mm-hmm. And even then, they still got their foot on your neck. They still got their foot on your neck, bro.
People don't realize how deep
this shit runs.
Basic exactly how deep it runs. Things like redlining, where you're
yo Siri out here listening to this shit.
Siri. Yo, that means the government's listening.
Scared the shit out of me, yo. My bad. Yeah, hey. No, fuck Trumpito. Fuck out of here, man. He out of here. Fuck that nigga.
Got him out.
Got him out. But
Yeah, people don't understand like things like redlining, how they just sectioned off districts. Basically, and we're just like, oh, people of color, black folk live here. Oh no, you don't want to go there, guys. We're gonna sell over here,
Yeah.
selling decrepit properties to properties that aren't up to code, things like that,
What?
and just feed into that cycle. Because
Yo.
stuff like food deserts. That's why people always talk about people from the hood having a high rate of diabetes and like, oh, you just don't eat better. It's like, bro, listen, like there's no Trader Joe's in the hood.
Yeah.
There's no Trader
No
Joe's in
Trader
these
Joe's in the
lesser
hood. They
neighborhoods.
got you with at best C-Town, bro, or
And
some
when you
regular
have and
shit.
you're getting little money and you want some
Western
freshest, some
beef.
organic shit, guess what? It's like $7. You get fucking like 4 tomatoes for like some extreme $7.
What?
And you're gonna go with what's cheaper because you got to make whatever little money you make stretch, and that goes even further when you got a family. So guess what? You're gonna make that choice to get one potato for like $3 or some crazy
shit, or you gonna get that whole bag for $3. Like, come on, son.
Right. Or you're gonna get like the bag of potato chips, something where you don't have that luxury of I gotta eat good. You're just trying to eat something because you don't know when you're gonna eat again.
Yeah, nah.
Not to go too crazy.
Nah, yeah. I mean, and I don't want to. I don't want to sit here and say that you're getting too crazy. I don't feel like you're getting too crazy. I feel like you're being honest. Like you're keeping it a bean. You feel me? Like you are keeping it a bean, and you're just being transparent to the fact that there is real issues in the country. You know what I'm saying? There's real issues in our society that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not ready to move past. Like, I'm not going to front. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I'm ready to move past anything that I saw, bro. It was like real crazy. I was driving past like certain places in the country, dude, and like, I'm talking like barren, bro. Like you see random like shacks on the side of the road, like inhabited by people, like people that look like me, son. And I'm just like, dog, wait, how do y'all not have like proper roading and proper power lines? And like I'm driving in the pitch black, like we talking in the middle of the country, like down south. So I'm just shocked that, for one, that places in the country still look like that. And then two, that they got people that like look like us out there. That's foul. Like I was just really, really hurt. Bro, I'm telling you, I got to North Carolina and I know we talked about this shit, but or I don't even know if it was South or North, but we was in Myrtle Beach. I think that's South. But we was in Myrtle Beach and, we get to the boardwalk and it's kind of like Atlantic City, like Seaside, New Jersey, you hit the beach. It's Coney Island vibes, technically. Like, it's just a beach city town type. And like, it was just like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's so barren. And I don't know how to really describe that shit. Like, I guess I don't know how to really describe it without sounding at least a little too crazy. I don't want to sound like an extreme leftist real quick. So like, I gotta like, I'm reeling myself in. I'm reeling myself in. Yeah, I gotta talk about shit, but I'm reeling myself in a little bit. It definitely got crazy, man. And then forget about it. When we got to Florida, it was just even worse, man. Like, we was in a town, man. It's 80%, like, just not me. Let's just put it like that. 80% not me. 80% not me. And they was definitely shocked to see me there. Like, they was shocked to see, like, affluent persons of color, bro. Like, we was at hotels and it was people of color that worked at the hotel. No white people, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, it was just trippy. Let's just say that. And, Trump came through with the parade. Ivanka was in town. Like, it was just all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do your Googles if y'all want to look all that up. But yeah, man, I mean, I did that. I went on a long trip. We did that for a week. That was about a month ago now, but that was pretty fun. Post wifey's birthday. And, for wifey's birthday, we chose to do that and actually celebrate the trip in the present. We actually went ahead and picked up a new vehicle. She actually replaced her 3 Series. Anybody know following it? Noah got the 2 cars. I drive the Maxima. But we upgraded her 3 Series, and now, son, she is stunting in an X3 M40i. Anybody who knows anything about cars, or if you don't, I'm about to put you on. That motherfucker is a beast. It is a beast, just straight up. Like, that's the easiest way to put it. It's just an immensely powerful car. Essentially, these new cars that BMW are putting out, like you got the M40s and then you got the M50s or the M550s, or you'll even have like actual M cars, and then you still have like their base model or baseline cars. But man, anything that wears that M badge, it's just like a fucking rocket now. Like the horsepower race that the auto industry that's kind of embarked on, I guess I would say, is just incredible now. Like fucking, Hellcat. Everybody hears like, oh, Dodge, Hellcat, Charger. The reason why motherfuckers go crazy about that car, 700 horsepower, 797 horsepower. People were shitting on G Herbo, or was it G Herbo for the Trackhawk or whatever, for buying a Trackhawk?
Yo, no,
That's
that's like
797 horsepower, son.
That's crazy.
Like, what is people talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about? The car does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, bro. 3 seconds.
Absurd.
Like, it goes to over 100 miles an hour, and as fast as it would take my car to reach 60 seconds.
That etch out 1,000 horsepower.
And then luxuriously,
that car.
Like in terms of the luxury build, it's built like a luxury car. So I mean, I don't know. People just need to miss me with that, especially when they're talking from peasantry. We're not all poor. Like come on, son. Like we all poor trying to tell somebody how to spend their money. Come on. But yeah, man. I mean, I did that. That was pretty cool. We enjoyed that car, and just did the long road trip, man. And I stayed low for the most part. I did do the RTX 3080. I picked that up actually the week I left, and I received that. So now that I've been back, I've been able to really just put in some work, benchmark the shit out of that. I've been blown away. Honestly, I still got the water cooler back up there. I'm actually looking at it in the corner of the frame right there. I still got the cooler. I paid $300. I got to put that shit on the machine. So I've been doing that. I got the iPhone shit. I actually flashed it. Didn't even realize. But yeah, as you guys can see,
12.
the iPhone 12 Pro.
12.
You know what I'm saying? And the gold. Nice little bad boy in there. And you know what I'm saying? So I just been, I guess a month of blessings. My Christmas as an adult, you just live your Christmas. I guess like my Christmas definitely has come. So
if you can afford the shit that you want,
hey, you know what I'm saying? I've definitely just been living my life, and you know what I mean, and shit, you know what I mean. We definitely had some fun over the break, man, and the trip in itself. I don't want to be too long-winded or too. I'm gonna definitely talk a little bit more about the trip, but I've kind of just done all of that stuff, during the hiatus. What about you, bro? I don't know what you've been on, but like, it's definitely been a long time. I feel like I started off 12 minutes just now rambling. Oh shit.
Hey, listen. If you didn't know, this is going to be let me say this first and foremost. This podcast is going to be switching to a bi-weekly format. So because of that,
did not let them know.
We didn't let them know. We apologize. But because of that, these episodes gonna be a little hefty, a little meatier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little meatier.
Listen to it over multiple days.
A little fatty.
If you got 2 hours to kill, you just go and listen to this. Yeah. So yes, to continue. Actually, no, you were asking me. So I think the week before you guys went away, Ruthie had gone away to see her parents. So I was just in the crib dolo. That week became the week that kind of was the catalyst for me. I don't know, like just I've been really kind of getting into cooking lately. I mean, like if I'm a cook, really try to get some recipes, try different shit out. So that's actually been pretty fun. Or like another thing about my day to look forward to in an otherwise, repetitive cycle that we're all kind of doing, just staying at home. I've been doing that. I had like a little bit of difficulty, not necessarily getting bored, but like when you just lose interest in the shit that you normally do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, those are your things that like no matter what, if I do this, like I'm always going to have a good time. But then you don't have a good time or it's not as fun.
Yeah.
And now you're just kind of sitting there like, well, I always do that.
Yeah. What else? What do I do now? Like, yeah. Holy shit.
So, I just added some things and just really had some conversations with like my mother and shit like that. Just trying to figure out like, all right, what can I do to like stave that off? Cause I know for me, like if I didn't solve that quickly or try to do something that could solve it quickly, like it was just going to get really bad. Cause I was like, no, I need something cause I can't be bored right now. Like there's too much shit going on. And like if too much free time I feel right now is like a bad thing. Because like there's just so much stuff, and like if you're in the kind of person where in your free time you just end up scrolling through social media, you could just end up scrolling and you're just looking at all the terrible shit going on. Now you just feel like shit the whole entire day.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've definitely had to become the guy that like, because I suffer from that. Even like today, for instance, like, it was a work day, worked from home, and you go through the motions, and if I'm not like super busy at work, I get really, really bored. And once I get really, really bored, and, I suffer from that, like, personally. And I talk about it, obviously, I think pretty openly on the pod that, the things that I like generally enjoy doing, like, if you can't do it all the time or do it at least the way you would like to do it. So like, obviously I like taking photos, you know, but for me, it's not like, okay, like, dude, you like taking photos, so just go take photos. Like, nah, like that has to come from within. So if I don't want to take photos in
Yeah.
that moment, like I'm not going to, I don't want to do, fuck that camera. I don't got nothing to do with that camera. Like, leave that shit. Like, that has nothing to do with me. Same way I feel about my computer. Like, it's my fucking blood, sweat, and tears. I love my computer more than anything. I think it's my number one hobby. But like, people think they invest all this money into this gaming shit and they play video games. Like, that's literally what we do. Bro, I literally don't play video games like at all. I don't play video games most of the time on this computer. It's so crazy how that works. I do love playing video games, but most of the time I don't get the fire to play video games. And if you get bored from those things, like, that's unfortunately what the pandemic has truly shown me. Like, yo, bro, like, you've truly hit a wall, at least with certain hobbies, where it's like you can't just like do these things all the time anymore, and then it just brings you joy. Like, it has to come from a place of like, yo, I'm fiending to play this game right now. Or, you know what? I want that graphics card, and I really want to, like, just like, I don't know, like, look at the numbers and see what 4K looks like. You just want to look at it for a little bit and feel good, or at least have the ability. Anytime that a game comes, like, you want to be able to enjoy it at the peak. And you get those things, and like, I knew a nice car, blah, 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 like, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, I don't know, like, for me, I think it's a little bit deeper, maybe with a deeper issue in life that I have, that the saying that money doesn't actually buy happiness, or actually all these items and things like that, like, that shit is unfortunately becoming more realistic to me every day, and it's like a real thing. And I think it just comes with age, because now we're all working, we're growing up, you're acquiring more things. The things that you wanted in life have become more accessible to you. And like, I don't know, like, it's so crazy that you've brought that up, though, because I've truly been feeling that, bro. It's so crazy. Like, the things that truly, like, I think the people that know me growing up, or like, my family, and that listen to the podcast, or anytime like they even have conversations with my friend, anybody regarding me, and I don't even mean to cut you off. I just wanted to get this in here. But
no, talk.
they always say like, yo, Tenny growing up, he's just fucking addicted to games, bro. And that shit is a fact, man. I used to play games from like like, yo, when I got up, son, to like when I went to bed. I used to love video games to the point where like it was an unhealthy thing. I'll be honest. It was like, I get up, like, and especially once I got on games like RuneScape or World of Warcraft. Like, once I got to the PC phase, it was even worse than like console days. I literally was putting in at least 10 plus hours, it felt like, some days on the PC. And it was like, whoa, like, you really like games. Like, now, I'd be lucky if I could get 30 minutes in without falling asleep, like right in front of the game. Or like just getting bored. And then, you're looking at other things, like maybe cars. Like me, I'm big into cars now. Cars, I think, is my number one addiction. But like, even that can get to a point where it's like, even when you get the car, it's just like, you get the car, you drive it, and then you're like, all right, like, what am I going to just like blow my gas tank? Like, nah, like, nigga, go sit your ass home. Like, remember that you can't afford gas still. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a lot to it. So it's just so crazy, like, that you brought that up. And, I don't know, like, I'm hoping, how did you deal with that? So you say you were speaking to your mother, like,
so it's honestly been a pretty, like, not too big of a transformative thing, but I think I've really got to a lot of core maybe issues or things that I'm like, wow, it's really been bothering me. And right now, like, the situation that I'm in, the situation that I'm in, but that everybody's dealing with, a pandemic. I'm looking for jobs, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and, staving off some of those thoughts that are like, oh, I'm not good enough, or like, getting bogged down by like, so much going on around you, that I was sitting there and it just really had me contemplating, like, there's a reason, or there has to be something that to help alleviate this. And like, I know, like, there's a part of me telling me like, okay, I know how I'm feeling is not necessarily true, but that doesn't change the fact that I still feel that. You know,
Mhm.
like it doesn't matter. Like I feel that, and I know that's wrong, but I can't help but feel a certain way. So it really was helpful to me to learn the lesson of that I have difficulty myself when I do things. Like if I'm not good at them, it really bothers me.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of hobbies I've had in the past that if I wanted to pick them back up, you know, I'm instantly wanting to be good or be better, but I didn't put that time in. So for me, it realized that I need to learn to do things or enjoy things without necessarily being good at them or trying to be good at them.
Mhm.
You know, like not every time I play guitar do I need to practice scales, do X, Y, and Z. You know, if I just want to play it, you don't have to be good at it to play it. If it brings you joy, just do the shit.
Mhm.
So I decided to just, you know, stay do with that in mind and just try other things that I might not necessarily do because of that previous notion that I had to be good at it to enjoy it. So that's really helped me kind of structure my time better. Um, and so because of that, I feel I'm not sure about lighter being the best word, but probably like I guess yeah, a little bit of a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Nah, real
And for
shit.
once, it's a good thing because honestly, like you know, especially in this year,
Mm.
how crazy this year has been. Like it
You need
feels,
those,
you know,
yeah. You need
yeah, I
that.
needed a little bit off of my shoulders to carry the other shit.
Yeah, to keep going too. Yeah, what? Like, come on, man. Like, it's so crazy. Like, even
So
man, it's like honestly, I definitely relate. I definitely can resonate with that feeling, like of just like you know, like come on, like bro, it's just it's like, and then when you're picking up those things, or like you know, you're trying to be good at. Like and for me, I think that is another thing. Like at least with a lot of the things that I'm into, like you know, I don't know whether it's you know gaming or you know I don't know like trying to like to be into like photography and sharing like and I you know I don't know like you know it all goes back. I think it goes back into just my insecurities, you know, and I guess like you know I don't know, I wish I could you know, I've said I feel bad, man. I feel like one day my mom and my dad go listen to this pod, like, yo, this motherfucker make us seem like, like, damn, we ain't ever love him. And it's not like that, but like, I think my parents could even understand, like, the type of relationship that we have is definitely one of law and order. I think most Nigerian kids can honestly resonate with what I'm saying. The relationship between parents and then children is usually one of law and order. You have very few of them that you know have been able to adapt to the new times like in a really like healthy way, to the point of where they're really like really friends, like or at least up to the point where that they're very comfortable in conversation and
mhm.
able to you know have those type of conversations. And you know maybe for me it's not my parents, you know I could reach out to my older brother. And you know actually it's so funny, like I actually did like see him recently, and you know we had a good moment, a good moment. And we've been having a lot more of those. I know he's gonna listen to this and probably feel good about this. So, you know, shout out Shola, man. It's been
Big shout out.
yeah, big
We
shout
see
out
you,
to Big
King.
Bro, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've been helping him out recently. He did two photo shoots projects he's been working on. So you know, anybody who's into that, follow my brother at AQUT on
He be
Instagram. Yeah,
shooting.
he be shooting,
He
bro.
be
Shout
shooting.
shout my brother. You know what I'm saying? He did two shoots, and I mean, man, the skills, bro, it's just incredible, man. It's so crazy. Like he's so good at what he does. And you know, we had those good heart to heart moments, and it just really helps. Like you're right. His reassurances, you know, his just words of wisdom, his words of knowledge, just like not only like for the things that I enjoy doing, like, you know, he was honestly reassuring me about my photography. And it's not like I'll be honest, I'm not cocky, but like I'm not like I don't feel insecure about my photography. I know I'm nice, like with all due
Yeah.
respect. Like I know I can take a great photo. And you know, I just know I know what it is about this new element about photography, social status, you know, garnering you know, like consistency and social following, getting like I understand what that it's a whole about. Like me, I'm not like insecure about that anymore, and I don't really care. Like it is what it is. Like it's either you're into that game and then you're willing to dedicate yourself to that type of thing, or you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you're just comfortable with sharing what you like whenever you like and allowing whatever that comes with that to come with that. And that's really who I've become. But, I was just getting into, that, like, or at least informing my brother, like, yo, that's kind of who I am for the most part now. Like, I don't really see myself, doing certain things, or like, I don't have to do photography to get the bag. Like, I'm not trying to get paid. I don't need to become a paid photographer or something.
Yeah.
It might just be an in and out thing, or, I haven't touched the camera because of XYZ. And then he goes on and say, shit like, I think you're nice, bro. You understand this and the third, like, 6 months in compared to where I was and how long it took me to get this nice. Like, you got to understand, like, you're doing shit that 6 months in, I was not even on your level, man. Like, and I was just like, hearing somebody that I consider, like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like 5 best photographers I know, he's definitely in that top 3, easy. And like, getting those words of reassurances, somebody telling you, hey, pick that camera back up, go out there, shoot. Make sure to combine your hobbies. Tony, you're sitting there, you're talking about, you love the cars, this, that, and the third, X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? You just got that fly ass whip, that fly ass truck. That truck is on stunning. Yo, take your pictures of the truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said you like taking pictures of your truck, or you took pictures of your truck. Why don't you share it? Share it online. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta feel bad about the pandemic. You don't gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta stop your life because of what's going on. Like, don't allow, like, what you feel like maybe social media and, and I know we're going to get even into that a little bit later, just with this bullshit fleets and, you know what I'm saying? You got like Instagram updates. Oh my God, bro. When you just consider just the landscape of things, he said, you just don't let that shit get in the way. You got to still be yourself. And, you know what I'm saying? And I really took that stuff like that to heart. It's allowed me to, honestly recently pick up my camera. I feel like I've been shooting more recently than ever. Obviously I speak on the cars gaming. I'm trying to get back into the gaming. I'm trying to, like, pick my hobbies back up with the purpose. And, you're right. Even if you don't feel like you're at your best, or if there is, like, difficulty in what you're doing, and you know what I'm saying, like, you got to still find the joy in it. My oldest brother, actually, Wall, always says that you got to find you have to enjoy the process, bro. You have to. There's always that process to anything. You always have to enjoy the process. And I always take that shit. I always say that shit. Anytime I'm in the struggle, anytime I hating on something that I'm doing, or I don't feel great about it, I'm just like, man, you know what? I know in like a year, I'm going to look back at this and be like, yo, wow, I really, like, that process was crazy. Yeah. Like, and that's real.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I needed to hear that.
Nah, that's real.
Enjoy the process, because I do like this. So that's one thing that really I needed to learn, or that I learned about myself. So I used to have, or something I would say like 2-3 years ago, I really made the distinction. Like, I personally, when I really don't like to be called talented, and that's not to say that's not good. I don't like the word talented because that implies I didn't work that hard to have this skill. Me personally, I realize all the things I'm good at is not that I had some innate talent. It's because I put those fucking years into these things to be good at them.
True.
So I would rather consider myself skilled. And so I think, like, expectations and stuff as a kid just kind of made me feel like, oh, if I'm not good at things, or, oh, you're talented, you could do this, you could do this. And it's like, no. Like, I'm still somebody that I have to go through the process. And the thing I'm good at, and I enjoy having those years under my belt, like in producing. It's been, I don't know, 12 years. I enjoyed every single
one. Yeah. What?
Music, honestly. I enjoyed all of those years.
Nah, and that shit is real.
Again, if I look back at the 12 years, it's a massive difference of what I've been doing. And even there's been like breaks in between those, but when I look back on it now, like, I'm totally content with that. And I'm content with saying that, you know what, like, things don't come easy to me like other people. I have to work hard to get it. I know, though, there are things that when it comes down to it, like, I'm going to put in that work that somebody else might not. So I think, like, it kind of structured me in a way where, like, I know, like, it re-solidifies, or actually just solidifies to me, like, okay, I can work hard. I know I can work hard. It's just, it has to hit me in a certain way. And that's what motivates me. If I have that motivation and that's what I want to do, like, I will stop at nothing to do that shit. I mean, that's why I went to school for audio engineering. And I went to school while I was working full time. And I went right to school, and school was from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I had to go home 12, 1 o'clock, go right back, do it again 3 days out of the week. And I did that for 18 months. And I was tired. I didn't want to do shit on the weekends. You know, like Fridays, every time I wanted to have like a good Friday, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna stay up. I was KO'd at like 9 p.m. like every time. To the point where it was stressing me out. But I got through it and I enjoyed that entire process of, yeah, you know, it was grueling, but quite honestly, when I look back at it, I enjoyed the process.
Yeah.
So like, you know what, it's very helpful to hear that, because, you know, you have to, if you want to do something, just like we said, honestly, when we started this podcast, you know, like if, you know, we might want the cool success and all that shit, that's always a plus. But if we do not love the process, trying to wait for those things is not going to be the way to go. Like, we have to love grinding it out. We have to love just putting out episodes for the sake of putting them out, because we love to do it. Because if not, it's not going to work out, and you're not going to actually enjoy it. You're just going to wait for your blow up, and you're going to lose everything in it. You're going to lose the quality. You're going to lose motivations to keep going. You're going to lose newer ideas, because all your ideas are just going to be focused on that rather than loving what you do.
Nah, that's a fact. Nah, you saying facts. You see, and man, shout out my brother, man. Shout out my big bro, because he be honestly spitting a lot of that hustle motivate. And a lot of that is that Nipsey Hustle. Nipsey Hustle be saying that shit too. Like that whole, that shit. And that's why he be preaching that marathon shit. That shit is really a fact. Like, you know, you cannot like hate any point of any grind that you're in, man. Because I'm telling you, the moment you do that, and I even had to relearn that in my corporate life. I feel like, man, I did touch a point in like where like I feel like I was even preaching it. I mean, maybe I said it on here, but I definitely been preaching it behind the scenes. Anybody who knows me I was saying, bro, before 35, I don't want to be doing any more like office work, or I don't want to work in the office past 35, or something crazy like that. And there's nothing wrong with saying that if you have a real plan and you really have ideas that you think can put you in that position per se, right? But for me, I can honestly say like I had the right ideas, and I still do think like shit. I mean, if I get lucky enough, it could work out, and I work hard enough, it could work out. But saying that was more of so of a response to, I think, what it was that I was doing at the time. And I was like, I don't see myself, man, doing this shit. I can't do this shit for another like 30 years. What? Work until 55? Like 60 years old and still working? Imagine me? No, like I'm sitting there looking at it like that, rather than like, like I gotta enjoy what I'm doing, bro. Like I have to try and find the joy in what I'm doing, or it's not gonna work. Like if you lose
or you have to find something that you can enjoy.
Exactly. You will lose you will lose the ability to succeed at what it is that you're trying to succeed at. And that's the last thing you want. You don't want to lose you don't want to lose that portion. Like that's the most important portion. So like my whole thing is just like you really want to make sure to like just realistically keep focus. Don't ever lose that like fire that is, man, just enjoy that process. Like, bro, I'm struggling right now. I'm down right now, bro. I'm broke. But imagine if I make it through this moment, like this, I'm getting hit from left and right. Like, it's like that meme where it's like they always it's like the Viceland gang shit, and it's the dude getting jumped, and it's like the dude, my paycheck and the bills, and the bills is just jumping him or something, and then you feeling real broke, but you just like, and then I'm like, I don't got no bills though, and I know for the next month or something crazy like that. You're gonna feel up. You're gonna be like, you're gonna feel up. You're gonna feel great, or that next 3 months, or in 6 months, man. Once I get through these next 6 months of car payments, I'm free from this crazy car payment, and I'm back in the green, man. My money is back in it's back in my pocket. Like I'm not paying the man no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you really have to have like you need to enjoy that process, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the hardships that come with life, man. Because if you just want it easy, man, I'm telling you, it never works out. It never works out for those people. You really do have to enjoy that. And that's really just been my approach to life.
I would just say two things, and then we could jump in. Jump in.
I'm loving this though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving this. Like we're having real conversations, and I actually do think the people that listen to our podcast really enjoy these conversations. They actually do.
Yeah.
They relate.
I would say it's the biggest thing is age doesn't matter when it comes to it. Like don't be discouraged if you're 30,
Yeah.
you're 40, and you didn't get to do
Facts.
what you wanted to do yet. You still have the time. Whenever you get to it is whenever you get to it. And even then you can regret that you didn't do it earlier, but at that point, just be happy that you're finally there, you're
Yeah.
finally doing
What?
it. And of course, everybody's life evolves and unfolds in different ways, and those things could potentially block you or keep you a little bit longer. But if you don't enjoy how you get there, or if you don't say, you know what, like it's going to take some time, but you can't lose faith in that. Or even if you put it to the side, you just don't lose it. Just say, you know what, when that opportunity comes back around, I will take it the first time I can get it. But I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of people just say, if it doesn't, if you put like an expectation of a timeline, it could come back to bite you in the ass. Because as much as we all like to plan for life could just sometimes come back around and say, screw your plan. Sorry,
Hey,
this is what
2020 clear example of it. 2020 clear example.
Here's what you got now. That's what you're working with. So have fun.
Yep.
And that could be either better or worse. But we could only deal with the cards that we were dealt at the time. So so the second point is that that's like a Buddhist thing that you have to learn. People say when you're in the bad times, oh, I can't wait for the good times, but the good times don't last long either. Nothing lasts forever. But if you just kind of find a way to feel, neutral, or very, like find it, like you said, enjoy not the bad times, but find moments of just reprieve in those darker moments, it can help you along the way, instead of just trying to push through it and suffer and then just hope for the good times. Because you're gonna, if your life ends up with more bad than good, then you're looking at waiting for that. Like a lot of people suffer through things, and they're saying, oh, I can't wait till it gets better, but you don't know when that's going to happen. So you have to find a way to deal with it in, constructively, or even if it's just something small victories. That's why I hate, people policing other people's pockets. Why are you concerned with what other people buying? Like, everybody got ways to deal with shit, and sometimes it's buying something. Like, we shouldn't be checking other people for these kinds of things. I really don't get what's going on.
It's crazy.
So, yeah. So let's jump into it. We got a lot to talk about. First one, another classic versus.
Oh man,
we got the Snowman.
The Snowman versus what is it? Iceman and Snowman. Wait, what's it? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
is Gucci? Well, I know Gucci. What Gucci's the Flair. He's considered the is he Iceman? Is he Iceman, or is that I don't know. I know both of them got like snowy names. I know definitely Jeezy's Snowman. Jeezy's Big Snow or Snow. Like I see snow like snow for sure. But I know Gucci. Gucci is the Iceman too, like ice cream boy. Like didn't he have the ice cream cone on his face?
Yeah,
he's definitely known for his ices. But shout out, man. Shout out Gucci. Shout out Jeezy. They had an epic verses, man. For anybody who didn't tune in, I actually didn't tune in, but I rewatched it, restreamed it, and man, it was epic. It was epic, bro. It was just crazy. Like, first off, like, I think what the biggest thing about verses that I like, and I feel like because we did get into verses at first, and what, it's so crazy. I have to give it up. First off, I do want to commend verses. I didn't really say we was going to like go into too crazy heavy into verses, but I do have to give it up to Swizz and Tim, because they have been doing a good job. Like, it's like they're first off, the audiences that they're pulling in, and it's not just about the numbers, but like when you look at it, like 2 million people to almost like virtually, but 2 million people essentially tuned in to that battle, or at least over 2 million, probably definitely across the platforms, because 1.8 million were on Instagram. So I know YouTube probably had their own pool, Apple Music had their own, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own pool that they can pull in. They definitely had like probably 2.5 million people that were viewing that battle. That's just first, incredible. Those amount of people obviously all agree. Yo, they want to see this stuff. Like, this is something that could have been monetized. So shout out to Black content creators and Black successful.
And look, but we said if you put that production quality into it.
What, bro? And I always said it. I said, yo, wait until they sign that contract with Apple, or they put it over to a proper streaming platform, get the proper dollars behind it. Watch what's gonna happen. That
proper
shit is just
equipment, proper setup, proper
yeah.
everything. Boom.
And that's honestly what I wanted to say. So just shout out, and I wanted to commend that, like, because I know at first, like, we were saying that, yo, you know what, we like verses, but like we just not into like, yo, all right, they got these two people on an Instagram phone and they're trying to do it with shitty sound quality and like, you know what I'm saying? It was a hard watch at first. It wasn't something that you was gonna, okay, I'm addicted to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was. I think the producers at first, they had like the best chances at doing the good sound quality because they kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when everybody started going crazy with it, it was kind of eh. But they've really turned it around, done a really good job, and been able to produce just phenomenal content. That's one. Two, I think we've like, I don't know about you, but I think I've kind of underrated, or at least time has unfortunately put me in a position where like I kind of lose focus on like who really are the greats, like, you know what I'm saying, like the really great artists like that
Yeah.
have really had phenomenal runs, like we're
It's a
talking
good
about.
nostalgia trip.
Exactly, it's an extremely good nostalgia trip. Yo, Jeezy, yo, I have all, like, personally, I don't know who you thought won. I think Jeezy won easy. I think Jeezy won easy. Personally, if you asking me, I think Jeezy won easy, son. Like, I think,
I don't know.
like, I liked Gucci's selection, and I do like Gucci songs. But come on, son, yo, if you from New York, bro, and like if you're from New York, there's no way New York, like Jeezy was playing shit that was ringing off in New York around the time, like at least
That's
in my
the thing.
lifetime.
We never really got a lot of South music up here.
Yeah, like we did only get the Jeezy. Like Gucci, we got
Yeah.
Gucci, but we didn't get
We
like,
didn't get that much
yeah,
Gucci.
like we didn't get street Gucci. Like you had to be looking for
Yeah.
that. And I'll be honest, like, come on, like I was young in '05. I was 10 years old. Was I searching for the dirty South like Gucci? Probably not. Like I liked Gucci, but I wasn't searching for dirty South Gucci. I was listening to whatever came up on television or whatever my brother was playing. But Jeezy was all over television. Like Jeezy was all over the radio. Jeezy had features with Hove. Like, come on, son. Like Jeezy has mad Hove features. I mean, I just feel like I don't know. Like I really had to revisit Jeezy, I guess. And it's kind of like maybe I don't want to say replace him in where I have him in history, like just amongst the great like Southern rappers. But like, man, he's up there, bro. Like people like just, I don't know. I think they were like underrating him for some reason, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, it just happens. Time. If you're not doing anything, time tends to watch you
Time tends to kill you. Because Gucci is definitely having a stronger current career for sure. Like he's the better artist right now. I mean, and I think even back then, I mean, if we're talking like Jeezy's one, then yeah, he was two. Like I would say Gucci was right behind him as far as like, who was probably the most like big influential Southern rapper at that moment. You got him. I think it's Gucci, Jeezy, and T.I. Like I do like those three. Those are like the big three from the South, at least during my life. Like I know those three were like, and then you obviously got the Outkast. I mean, then you go even further south. You got Wayne, obviously in Louisiana. You got the Southern movement down there in Texas. Paul Wall. Mike Jones, Slim Thug. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody in the little clicks from everywhere in their different pockets. You even got Florida some. Like, but I feel like, man, like the really ringing off, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a really great battle. Shout outs them for putting that on. And, I don't know if you want to get anything in before we transition to just like the serious moment, when the truth came on, so you know what I'm saying? And just everything that transpired, obviously, post that moment. But, I don't know, like, do you have any thoughts on anything that really with versus?
Nah, you used to the platform itself for them.
I guess like platform itself.
No, yeah, they moved to higher quality distribution and quality in general. Yeah. So because of that, it's now a better product. More people watch it, more people enjoy it. Looks cleaner. You have these funny interactions, these really funny moments that are, now it's now set itself up in, at the very least, the top level of pop culture. It's in that quick, who knows if we'll remember this a year from now, if it'll really stick. But right now it's sticking. So will it stick next year or when everything goes, what happens when COVID is, gone or everybody gets vaccinated, what happens then? We'll find out. But right now, I think that stuff is going to stay relevant. So it's nice to have something like that be relevant. Hit the nostalgia trip, as well as just a nostalgia trip for us, and it could be a way for to regain or gain new listeners.
Okay, cool.
Those crowds that may not have ever heard of them.
Okay, no.
Or didn't know even deeper hits. You might know the artist, but now you're like, oh, you know what? I didn't really know Gucci's catalog. Now I'm gonna go look at his mixtapes and shit like that.
Oh, that's a fact. So, real questions though. You taking that vaccination? That's the real question.
I don't know. Me, I'll wait for 2.0.
You gonna wait for 2.0? You see how fast they pushing to get those things through, man? This shit is crazy. Like, and
listen, man, the FDA doesn't even fucking approve. There's so much shit out there that it's just like not FDA approved. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm supposed to trust the FDA CDC to be like, all right, let's get, and also too, like, I don't know what their control tests are like, but I can't imagine that they, you can test, but I don't know if it's really accurate as to how it's going to affect all different types of people with different health conditions. So I'll wait for that. And if it looks, because Ruthie had asked me like, how long do you think you would wait? I'm like, it's not about length. It's about when those numbers to me come back with, hey, all right, it looks good to take. Cool. Nobody got no crazy side effects, or like the percentage for that is low. Everybody seems stable. Like a month or 2 or 3 months later, something doesn't show up later, and it's proven, on average that it really does increase your chances not to get it. Once that's settled, then I'll take it.
Then you take that, yeah. No, I respect it. I was definitely just trying to sneak that in there and get the questions for the people. I don't even know. I mean, me definitely. You're right. Like if it's proven to be, obviously helpful, and no side adverse effects, or I'm not gonna grow another arm or something like crazy in like a couple of years, because it's so crazy, man. Like we forget every single day that we are such a guinea pig generation of individuals. Like, I mean, between the technology, the things that we put around our heads, and I mean, we drive in machines, and you know what I'm saying? Like we hold these crazy devices that are just pumped out, and every 10 years it's like the world kind of changes a little bit. Like you don't really think about it, but in 2010 the world was a different place than in 2020, and in 2000 forget about it, and in 90, 80, you keep going back 10 years and the jump is even more dramatic. Like it's just like whoa. You just keep you keep whoaing like whoa. So it's just like you really gotta. It's just like you really gotta just think about it first, and think about it, and then take it.
Hey, whoa,
whoa. Oh man, but fucking
never gonna get old.
Never gonna get old, bro. Never, man. Old days, fucking. Shit, I don't even remember where we was at. Oh yeah, versus. But these dudes, man, they had that moment, man. Once the truth played. And obviously,
I was like, "Yo, here it is, the bloodshed."
I thought the bloodshed was coming, man. I thought Jeezy was gonna pull out the strap. I thought, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna act in front like I thought any of that was gonna happen. I am proud for the way my man Jeezy, Big Snow, that is shorter than Gucci somehow, but it's considered Big Snow, decided to handle it. Like he did the right thing, man. And honestly, because I mean, one, he was honestly the wrong one in the situation.
You sent somebody to kill.
You sent your man's the shooter, and he ends up being shot. The shooter gets shot. Unfortunately,
yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. Like what I'm saying, Gucci did what he had to do, or else we'd be talking rip Gucci. So,
this versus would not be happening.
Yeah, it would not have been happening. I mean, and honestly, a lot of my favorite podcasters, a lot of bloggers like that I've been following, like. A lot of them brought up that conversation in their like respective platforms, and we're saying like, hey, that shit is a fact. Like, imagine if Gucci got killed and you kind of just trace the Gucci line. Like, what I'm saying? Like, how many people did Gucci put on? You know what I'm saying? When you think about like, the Waka Flockas and the, what I'm saying? All the other Southern acts, like he put on like pretty much the whole New South. Like, and they were saying like, it kind of showed like when he was on stage and doing the verses, when he was looking out to the, like when you look to the left side, or like I think whatever side of Gucci was on, he had like all of the new and old Atlanta with him. It was just crazy. And then like Jeezy was on there by himself. Like this shit is crazy. Like, so when you really like just see like the the grip that Gucci has on Atlanta from the standpoint of like, bro, my influence is everywhere. Like my influence is really out here. Like I really control Atlanta. That shit is crazy. Like, and you really gotta you really gotta commend and respect that. But you know, like I think like my thing is just like, yo, the way Jeezy chose to handle it, like it's just like, all right, you know, you knew you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You let him get his shit off. You know what I'm saying? You knew he was gonna blow his steam. I think I personally thought Gucci went hard. Obviously, he went mad hard, man. Talking smoking on Pookie. Loke, what? Damn.
You
Like,
gotta still, you know, like, of course you're like, all right, not necessarily I forgive you, or maybe I forgive you, or we can move past this, but you gotta still feel some way like, yo,
yeah,
you
like,
really tried to have me killed.
yeah.
You sent basically an assassin to come kill me. If this was fucking, empires in 400 BC or AD, but this is, you sent an assassin to kill me, and I just killed their assassin.
Nah,
friend.
That shit is crazy. Like when you actually sit back and think about it. And I'll be honest, like I do.
He probably still has to get that off his chest and be like, yo, we all right now, but it's still fucking you at the same
And honestly,
time.
you know what? That was probably smart by Gucci when you actually sit back and think about it. Cause like you really do have to test that type of water. Cause it's like, all right, let's see if you really move. Let's see if you've really moved past it. How you gonna take this disrespect? How you gonna feel? Like if let me get my shit off. Yeah, damn. Send more shooters. I'm gonna send them back to you. Like send them, do it. And then you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, people was going hard at Gucci, saying, oh nah. Some people were obviously the people, the LLC Twitter was like, oh yeah, he owns half of Atlanta. Twitter was like, oh, Jeezy is a grown man. Like, and you know, all jokes aside, like they both have valid points. And I definitely brought this up. I said this would be I thought a great kind of like conversation. But the notion of, you know, who was right and wrong in this battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what stance is right? Like, I feel like Gucci definitely still had the right to get what he got off. You know what I'm saying? He has the right to be mad. Like, his life was threatened. He just did what he had to do. He needed to test those waters. He needed to say, yo, bro, yeah, we are smoking on Pookie Loke tonight. He tried to kill me, so I had to kill him. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is, Jeezy. How do you feel about that? Jeezy, you know, say what it is. Like, bro, look, I did what I did. I extended an olive branch. I think I would have wanted him to say, I'm sorry. Because if he said that on stage, even more so, like, that would have been real shit. Like, bro, you know what it is? Like, I made a mistake, and honestly, I gotta live with that. Like, my boy is dead. I'm sorry that I let myself even get to that point where, like, I put my friend's life in harm's way. And, like, obviously he's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to pay the ultimate price. So I'm sorry for not only him, but I'm sorry to you because, like, you know what I'm saying? You had to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real fraction. People lost their lives for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, PTSD, I mean, family, like, just the fraction that it probably even caused with Atlanta, like, you know what I'm saying? There was probably sides to it. Like, people can't work with each other. Like, when you really think about all of that, like, you got to respect that. You got to respect that. And then you got to respect that Jeezy went out and at least said that and apologized the way he did. But like my thing is just, you know, I respect that too though, because like some people was kind of like, oh, Jeezy already lost the battle for taking the battle, like, and that, you know what I'm saying, like oh, how could he take that disrespect? And this is supposed to be Big Snow. He's supposed to act tough after this. How is he tough? Like, so you telling me he's not a man for doing what he did? Like, you gotta really get into people's psyche. And like for me, it's just like I really just found myself questioning, like, bro, like why do people still have this battle, I guess, with identity? Or I guess I don't know if there's just notion that you're not tough if you're not, like, I guess, automatically choosing violence, or I don't know what it is. Like, what is it with this modern era of individuals that violence is still an answer? Like Jeezy is trying to do the right thing to push that's humanity in general, bro. Like, yo, we don't gotta kill each other no more, bro. Like, just somebody telling you that, imagine like y'all beef, and then somebody's like, bro, like, I'm past that. Like, I don't want to fight no more. I don't like.
It's just funny that he's the one saying that when you're the one who started the violence.
Yeah, like, and he's the one who started the violence. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, but like, you know,
it's hilarious in that way. Yeah, it's a good message. It's just funny. It's like, you it's funny that you're saying that now when you really weren't the first guy to think of that earlier.
Nah,
but
I think people, and I guess I just want to speak this last thing. I think people, I don't know when it like happened, but people like removed people's ability to change. Like they say people can't change. Like if you do think something once, it's like stained forever in my memory and that's it. And you know, I don't know, you know, how you feel about that, but like I you know, I don't want to cut
I
you off.
think it's more so of they have personas, they have identities, they've been identified as these things. So yeah, to your point, it's kind of like, oh, I don't think it's so much like we don't want to see you grow. I guess because it's them versus you have that history, people are expecting and want this wrestling-esque show, storyline where, oh shit, they come together, oh my god, fight a brawl. That would be entertainment, but realistically, shit isn't always that dramatic, honestly. It might have been dramatic back then, but time, for whatever reason, they just don't want to do that anymore. And so people just got to respect that. But I think people, just see this entertainment. They're like, oh, they got beef. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Gossip starts. So I think it's just honestly people just not managing their expectations, and they want one thing. And again, it's another case of you want it to be one way, but it's the other way.
Yeah, and
where people wanted that, and that's not who they are anymore. Exactly. Even if you want to label them a hood nigga street, they just not that anymore. Yeah. So because of that, they're like, Jesus, like, all right, I tried to have you killed, but right now, like, this is for so on and so forth. That he's at least some semblance of let's be bigger than that now.
Yeah,
so if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do, and like. If you're looking for that kind of content, then that's clearly not your market anymore.
and honestly, like, and I kind of always liken it. I don't want to say liken it to this, but I like the first like other situation, or not even other situation, but like, anybody that Hove has had beef with, like, bro, at what point in the last 13 years, at least I know in my life, bro, would you expect Hove essentially to try and get somebody killed or something crazy like Hove has been in the last 30 years, I feel like, been past violence or something like that. Like he's not going to get into no struggles. Like, are y'all going to say Hove wasn't tough? Like, if Hove did a versus, is Hove not tough? If he did a versus with somebody he had beef with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Like, yo, Jeezy is an older guy. Like, he's not an old man, but he's mature. Like, and I think people forget like that. These dudes were young, bro. They was in their late 20s. Some of them young 20s. Some of them, even early 30s. Like cusp of 30, like if you in that stage, like, I mean, shit, I'm 26, bro. And me in the next 3 years, like, I mean, I don't see myself running around acting rowdy. I mean, I think the next generation, it's been a generational thing. Like we've adapted just the mindset of like, you don't need as much violence. And I know it just comes crazy because, you want to RIP King Von, rest in peace, Von, because like a lot of the younger generation is still dying in rap music and rap violence and in a lot of these hoods, unfortunately.
But I think of that, and I also think people really don't understand how crazy shit was in the 80s.
No, yeah, and that's true. That is true.
Numbers overall are down. It's still bad. Yes, all of that is bad, but statistically, that shit is on a different
it's at a different level. I do agree to that. I definitely do agree to that. Like, and I think that's the point, so like we've definitely absorbed that idea that we're not gonna, like, what's the point? Like, what is the point in killing each other? And I just like the fact that
it's looking at that and saying, all right, we don't need to be that because look how bad it got.
Yeah, look how bad it got. And then even like those individuals from those eras that have been able to survive and are now adults, like, nah, like you want them to go back to that for what? For Twitter? For Twitter and Instagram, like to get videos and like what you wanted Jeezy to pull out a gun and shoot him right there for disrespecting his homie. Like I just don't understand what people wanted, and it's just so ridiculous. Like I think that was the thing that just upset me so much. Like I was on Twitter, like, bro, I can't believe I'm like looking at people my age, like talking about Jeezy's this or that.
And I guarantee you all those, Jeezy, so pull out the shit and start shooting.
Yeah, like
you're not participating in any of those kinds of activities.
Yeah, like you don't even participate in none of that. Yeah, you don't even like that is not none of y'all lives. Like, bro, I know, bro. We went to Catholic school together, though.
Disrespected street code. Gucci disrespected street code. Yo, street code say you gotta fuck him up after he said that shit. That's street code.
Yeah, like you are from my neighborhood, man. Dog, you live on Staten Island. You are from
all your lights are on.
Bro, you live in a suburban neighborhood where all the houses look the same. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, yeah, and it was just a lot of that. That was like just a little annoying. The biggest annoying thing about the whole versus
talking
situation.
like you for Jersey people, they talking like you from Patterson, but you really from Hoboken.
Yeah, like you from Hoboken, bro. Like stop it, brother. Yeah, but yeah, but it was an epic moment. Like I think it was an epic moment. I think I loved Jeezy's rebuttal, the way he even did it into what was it really what was it what was the song he dropped? Damn,
I don't remember.
I'm fucking blanking. I don't know why I'm blanking. I don't know why the hell I'm blanking.
It was entertaining. The songs chosen
Yeah.
were very good.
Yeah, the song chosen was very, very good because it was a perfect rebuttal to the moment. I think he said, "Get your mind right." That's the name of the song. So he rebutted to "Get Your Mind Right" and literally flawlessly into it. DJ queued it up, and it was just like an epic moment. Like, and you know, I like that point you brought up. Like, I think the biggest and true testament to versus the success of versus. I don't want to say versus is success. That was gonna make my versus is like oh yo, I said it in my head prior to saying I was trying to say it, and I was like, yo, you know what I was gonna say? The success of versus, because forget it. Like I was gonna have a
That's
seizure
good.
just trying to say that. Oh man, yo, bringing back the video portion has been the greatest thing because it's like being able to see,
funny.
it's just funny, like seeing your reaction, and then sometimes like being able to previously see or like see what my reaction I know is gonna be to something. It just be having me die out and laughing before it even happens. Sorry guys, oh my god, audio podcast, we probably listening like, yo, what's this motherfucker talking about? Yo, anyway. But yeah, the success of versus would be when are these moments gonna last? You know what I'm saying? A year from now, are we gonna be looking back? Yo, remember when Gucci and Jeezy did the verses and they had that epic moment in round 15 when he played Truth, and you know what I'm saying? Like those are the moments. Like, are we gonna be talking about that years from now? Because you know, back there in the 90s, you know, in the early thousands, you know, when there were epic moments, I said mammoths moments in rap history, like the technology for one wasn't there to really record it the way we needed to. So like it's all folktale. Like people like have to tell those folktale stories, and you know it's all word of mouth. You know, I was there and it was crazy. Like so it gets real epic, and you know people I guess get really into it. You know, in the social media era, the YouTube era, recording everything, it definitely takes, I don't want to say a lot of it, but it takes a little bit from it in the sense that, you know, when you can just like YouTube it and like just go back to it, go like kind of revisit it real quick. Like, you know, people aren't like rushing to those moments, or it just like, and it becomes like flooded or cluttered away in a sea of just moments or tons of shit that's going on. Like that's really just the unfortunate truth of the modern era. So you're right. Let's see in a year, are we still going to be talking verses? You know, because I'll be honest, like, although it's doing really well, probably still don't see it lasting that long. It's so crazy.
No, it seems like a temporary thing.
Yeah.
But all right, on to another music related topic. GQ told us they're rapper of the year, Megan the Stallion.
Yes, Megan. And, shout out Megan. Shout outs to Meg.
You know, the incels are
losing their mind. Out. Of course, you already know. Yeah. You know they're already losing their mind over. Didn't she had the number one album too, right? Didn't she do the number one album? She just dropped an album.
She dropped Good News, yeah. I don't know what the numbers are.
Oh yeah, she did drop Good News. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion for dropping Good News. I know that shit went number one, definitely like day one. So you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Megan Thee Stallion. Another one for Black women, protect Black women at all costs. People was hating, bro. And they were mainly hating on like her for just like I honestly I don't know. Like they were just saying like the big saying was like people prefer Lil Baby. And I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely one of them, but like that doesn't mean like Megan Thee Stallion couldn't like win. Like she definitely had a strong year. And even Shy actually had to point it out to me because I was like gassing Lil Baby too. I was like, yo, bro, he had XYZ and it was mad funny. The memes was mad funny, like because the girls was like, yo, they hyping up Lil Baby for having his little Black Lives Matter video. I was yo, girls could be so heartless, man, when they would be like, it's so funny to me, but I love it. Like I literally like love it. I consume it all. Like tear into the men, bro. So the like, you know, they was flaming and saying like, oh, Lil Baby had that little Black Lives Matter video, protest video that they care about so much. So, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're saying she had WAP, she had hot girl summer this, and you know what I'm saying, she had, and that's so crazy because that all does feel like the year. And I guess the way those awards do
Yeah.
work, though, it's like year to year between when they give that award, right? More so than the actual year that you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, when you think about that, and include all those things or whatever their criteria that they had for
You
it,
look at her trajectory
yeah,
and how sharply it just went up like that.
she took
Yeah. Who
off.
else?
She took
Yeah, she
off.
took off.
She took off. She honestly picked up where Cardi B left off and kind of like has not given it back at all. She's just like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm in these streets. You know what? She didn't get pregnant and go away, honestly. Like, I think, unfortunately, I think that was the thing that kind of like took Cardi B's fire. Like, it's so crazy, unfortunately, how that works. But then at the same
I was
time,
thinking more so her music itself, like just hit a niche where we didn't see a lot of growth. So I don't know if people just kind of tuned out. Because I remember like some of the stuff she was making, I'm like, it's kind of falling in that same realm, which I didn't mind because like a lot of people get away with making the same shit.
yeah,
I don't know if it just hit for me. And I guess Meg just had I think Meg just has a more aggressive style. Like she
yeah,
hits the hardest shit. I love that shit.
mm,
So I think that was something that, and her songs have a lot more energy, I think,
yeah,
on average. Meg's songs are very
yeah,
fast paced. And I think that it just transitioned to her where she just has that energy and people were looking for that. And or maybe we didn't have that at that level, but it kind of brought, she'd be rapping over the old ass shaking anthems basically.
yeah.
But that's what people wanted.
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah. I think it's a Houston energy. That's why I like to liken it to. It's that
Yeah,
Southern Houston. Like, she just,
Southern energy.
yeah, she just really gives you that. And like,
And we didn't have that we didn't have a Texas rapper. We didn't have a Houston rapper like that really doing it. Because I really don't consider Travis Scott.
I was gonna say, Travis Scott is like, you can't really, like, yeah, he's just such a weird rapper to me. Like, cause he is like, I just consider him like a artist, like a pop artist. I don't know what to call him.
Pop star. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah. But yeah, so that's strong. We were missing that. So she just
that's what differentiated her from
like, yeah.
I think because you know what the problem with Cardi is? Cardi, like, honestly, she got with I want to say Offset, and honestly started just rapping like an Atlanta rapper, but from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's from New York. And it just came off as like, man, it's really lazy. Like, she started to rap like the people. Leave. Yeah, like,
she's got to leave Offset and come back.
Like, you know what? She's a rapper, like, but she definitely she's definitely not as skilled a rapper as Meg, and it's clear as day because like you can tell like she doesn't like make all her music really by herself. Like, it doesn't come that way because her biggest hit ever, Bodak Yellow, literally is Kodak Black's freestyle, just written another way with her own lyrics, her own influence. She killed it though. I gotta like respect it. But at the end of the day,
who knows? I mean, also Cardi just might be taking a break, so we'll see if she comes back and hit.
I hope she come out. I hope she come out with fire. Another. Yeah, because I actually like her music a lot. Like,
there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
So I just want to see some more.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were talking earlier about social media. Speaking of which, I'm sure anybody who's been on Twitter has seen Twitter's response to Snapchat and Instagram stories, fleets. And if you follow me and see how much I fucking hate that stupid ass feature, if you don't know, I'll explain it. Fleets is basically Instagram stories on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It looks the same. I kid you not. It looks exactly the same. It comes up in that same format with the circles on top with all of your people. Now it gives you that stupid thing that Instagram does where if you tap somebody's profile picture, it'll either say, do you want to open their fleets or see the profile picture? And I'm like, this is just getting out of hand how much it's all the same now.
Yeah.
But also like Twitter didn't need that. It looks terrible. It just clutters up the entire screen. Like that's just counterproductive to what Twitter is, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired of like all of these, stealing from each other. And now they just see, oh, that's what's hot. So we got to copy that. But all of these different social media to me don't fill the same niche. Mm-hmm. I don't go on Instagram for the same reasons I go on Twitter. I don't have Snapchat anymore because I no longer like that format. Mm-hmm. You don't all need the same type of things. And so now because of that, they all feel the same. Like, what's the difference between, Instagram? I could put a black picture and then type out what I would write on Twitter under. honestly.
Yeah,
And
no, I
they don't need to
understand.
be that.
No, I
And
agree.
I just,
I agree with that. I agree. You know what? Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm definitely in this weird place because I agree with that because we come from an era, and honestly, as you were speaking there, like I was kind of like forming what I wanted to say because as you evolved my thought like just now for more so just like we've come from an era where like I feel like social medias all did have their own like niche. They had their purpose. They served specific like usage like situations. You didn't like have to go to Instagram and it served everything, or Facebook and they served you everything. Twitter served you everything. Like they all had their own function. And like,
yeah,
I don't know when it became the shift that like all the apps started stealing each other. And it really was Facebook. Facebook started it because Facebook, once they acquired Instagram, they it was just weird because obviously Facebook just was a fucking massive like behemoth at that point. They acquired Instagram, and then I feel like Snapchat came along, and Snapchat was just a competitor in the space of Instagram that like people were snapping, and I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of Snap for a little bit. Instagram stories came along, and I guess I kind of just like now I'm kind of comparing the two. When Instagram stories came along, it was like there was heat on it at first. I remember people didn't like it at first either. They were like, "Yo, it's
yeah,
just Snap 2.0." But like then after a while too, like people enjoyed the idea that, oh wait, yo, you know what? I got 600 followers on like, or I got thousands of followers on Instagram. Let me just snap on Instagram, like, and all my
yeah.
followers can see my Instagrams. And then Instagram died, like literally, it was just over, like, and it was
You
just
mean
like
Snapchat?
yeah, Oh
Yeah,
yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Snapchat died immediately. It was just so fucking crazy. It was like overnight. Like I'll never forget. Like just Snapchat completely fell off. And I think there's still people that are on Snap. I know people that still use it. I go on Snap randomly once in a while, and I'll look through the stories, and I'll be looking through it. I'll be like, yo, it's just so funny that people still religiously use Snapchat. Um, Instagram is like the behemoth though now, and like Instagram stories is taking over, and like all people want to use this Instagram story. So like when you look at the Twitter situation, why is it wrong for them to get it? I guess it's kind of just my mentality at this point, but at the same time, I do understand that like on Instagram, like it just like feels good, I guess, at this point to like I got my photos
It's
down here, and then I
already
got the
a
stories up top.
media. Yeah, it's already a media based app. So them having the stories is fine. I hate Instagram's current thing of basically trying to become a fucking
Yeah,
store.
they're done
And you're
in my
trying to
mind.
really push your, what Facebook, that's the Facebook
Yeah.
fucking parasite. You have some shit. There's those golden years where you're like, oh, this is great. Then
Yeah.
it starts to become, how can we monetize this? How can we do X, Y, and Z? And now Instagram has that. Stories is
Yeah.
getting monetized. People are putting up, oh, come check out my latest post, my 5-minute post. Now
Like,
it's
what?
basically a part YouTube,
Nah, it is. It's part
Because now you can
YouTube.
have
Yep.
part store. And so for me, Twitter's fleets is weird because it's just, I don't care that they have it. I care because it's counterproductive to what I feel the app is best at. Like it's almost like, okay, you did it because everyone else did it, but also users have been demanding or asking for other things that we feel is conducive, and instead you give us this, which
Yeah.
to me doesn't feel conducive. Twitter's a mini blog. You type your thoughts out, it could be one letter or now 280 letters, so it's quick thoughts that you jot out and you just send away. But like having this element where I have to scroll to the top and view other people's tweets outside the timeline. The entire timeline was its thing. That was the whole thing about Twitter. You could tweet some shit and then delete it later. Yeah, if you said some crazy shit, somebody's going to screenshot it, maybe. But
I do.
it
I
was all
actually I
in
agree.
one
I agree with that.
scrolling motion. Like it was just everything was just one thing there. Having that stories just breaks up kind of Twitter, because now somebody's going to say something that they would only say in stories because it's going to get deleted in 24 hours. But again, like it just feels, I don't know, just adding something else that to me Twitter's best thing is the timeline, and that the fact that you could really curate it as best as your ability. Now like it's pretty interesting that Twitter now has, you can follow topics. Like that's not too bad, because let's say you don't know who to follow, but you just know you want to see people talk about one thing or a few things on your timeline. That's something that's not bad. But the fleets thing just feels just again, like haphazardly, like you see other people doing it, you're like, we have to do it to keep people on here. But I think the beauty of Twitter is that you can type some shit, fire and forget, come back, oh shit, you got like, 100 retweets or whatever, 10,000 retweets. Like you can just have that one thought in 30 seconds and then let it go.
No, I think I agree actually with a lot that you're saying. Because I think I forgot that the core functionality that they did advertise fleeting as is that stupid tweet in 24 seconds and it vanishes, or 24 hours and then it'll vanish and then nobody can see it. Like it'll do it automatically essentially for you. It's so funny because I feel like I haven't seen anybody actually use the fleet feature. They've only used it for the purpose of posting photos and videos or whatever.
It's just stories.
It's just stories, really. So, like, I think my mind is like, I'm not really against it, like at this point, because to me, Twitter now having that can make that the superior app to Instagram. Instagram, like, because you're speaking to a lot of things here, and I feel like you're right. Like, Instagram has become another Facebook. It's like for shopping. They got IGTV, it's just Facebook TV. I mean, they have, posting. You can post photos. You can Instagram story. You can Instagram live, like Facebook Live. They're literally the same app now. There's no difference. Like everything that Instagram did right, they just OD'd. Like for whatever reason, they just took it to extreme, and it was just kind of like, all right, now it's just way too much.
Innovation for the sake of innovation and not a reason to innovate. That's why the fleets. I'm not bothered by fleets itself. I'm bothered by the tone deafness, because it's just like, all right, we've been asking for all these other things. This doesn't help the core experience. You added a new experience, but the one experience of the timeline isn't all the way there yet. Fix this shit. Get it to be first. Fix the fact that, you got people who are being fucking Nazis on Twitter, could say whatever, but God forbid you tell somebody who's being a garbage asshat to kill yourself, and all of a sudden you get banned, but that Nazi could still tweet off crazy shit. You're not fixing none of that. You're not fixing shit that's harming users, that people are straight up leaving Twitter because they're like, yo, Nazi trolls just keep getting my account suspended and they're sending in death threats. And Twitter's just like, we don't see any violations of our terms and conditions. And you just get a fucking shrug. So it's like, fix that before you add some extra shit that could be just as annoying.
No, that's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. I do agree. And I think that, unfortunately, none of these apps will ever be perfect. I don't think any of these apps are ever going to be perfect. Twitter, right now,
build it up from the ground up, I think.
Yeah, right now they have it, but I feel like, this is a perfect slot for somebody else to just come in and just take the lead again. Hey, make a bare bones just app that somebody can just kind of like just post their photos on, and it's just enough people use it, or you get enough of your friends, enough influencers to just buy into it. Like, you can really start your own movement. Like, just like that's how Facebook worked. That's how Twitter worked. That's literally how all these social media apps start. You got to have people that are willing to subscribe to it. That serves them a purpose. And I feel like, Instagram for me used to be that, like, you could just go in and share those photos, and, it was for friends at first. And then you could follow other people, and y'all always just share photos. It was photos. Then it became stories, live. And, now I'm not posting every day. If I'm not on my stories every day, people don't want to follow me, and, followers this and that. And it just became a little bit too crazy. Like, I don't know what I really want for social media anymore. Like, Twitter is really like has become the pinnacle for me, because Facebook growing up, it was like that. Like, hey, you just blog, like you just status. So I just throw a wall comment, throw my comment on my wall, throw a comment up there. Like, oh, I'm just firing shit off. Like, Twitter became like the perfect version of that, like where you just tweet. So like, I don't know what's next, but I just like, I really want like just a very bare bones app. I'm tired of just all the bloatware that's just all over these apps now, man. It's just ads and bloatware.
The monetization thing just always ruins a lot of shit, because now it becomes geared towards that.
Yeah, no.
I swear that once it goes after the IPO, once it gets on the market, and it's now the strength of the company gets dictated or whether or not it can make money, innovation solely goes to, well, how can we make more money?
Yeah.
and often to the detriment of the user experience. I mean, I fucking hate seeing ads on Twitter. It's just garbage.
Oh man,
Like
it's the
you
worst.
know, like it's the worst because it's just like, come on,
It's
man. Like
useless.
you're it's useless. Like your timeline is your fucking timeline. Like it's just so intrusive. Just having some shit like get this shit the fuck out of here. Like, and I'm tired of this shit. All your data, all this fucking data that they're extracting from us is just simply to sell us shit. And I'm so
I'm
tired.
so
Like
tired, bro.
just stop. Like you just commerce, commerce, commerce. And I'm like, yeah, this is just it's so fucking ridiculous to me, honestly.
Nah, bro, it's incredibly
Yeah.
insane, dog. It really is when you think about it.
But all right, let's move on to the next one. We don't got to talk about this too long because I'm sure the timeline has talked about it to death. But you know, we lit up
we lit
that
up
proverbial
we lit
that
up.
Trumpito pack.
Oh man, where's my cigar? I got that hitting somewhere. I was about to we'll fire it up real quick.
The LeBron cigar.
The LeBron cigar, just forcing it mad hard, like. Oh man, nah, man, we lit one up for that boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Got his ass up out of here. 20 days ago, but we got that boy up out of here, bro. In January,
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I mean, hey, yo, I'm proud of America, obviously, for doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? We did it. You know what I'm saying? But forever, like I said, man, this is just that smear that America is just forever gonna wear, bro. Like it's just like, bro, how did we elect that man? Like, how did we actually make him president?
Because it's like, okay, like I was paranoid about what he could do. I mean, you know, he could still do some crazy shit from now to January, but also it's just still crazy that essentially they did try to steal this election. They 100% openly, brazenly tried to steal it. And the only saving grace was that red counties flipped blue. That just straight up, those red counties are like, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It, honestly, because they were trying so hard in these normally blue districts to do everything they can, try to say, oh, make a recount, do all these things to try to fuck up the vote. And they just straight sheer numbers just overwhelmed. And the fact that he told his people don't use mail-in ballots, and he lost by mail-in ballots. And people kept saying because he told his people not to use mail-in ballots, like the early numbers are going to look like he won. And then the mail-in ballots are just going to keep coming in, and it's just going to be
you're just gonna you gotta think about that. It's just common sense. It's like it's kind of like this. It's like, all right, if somebody offers you, you win the lottery, you could take the upfront cash, or you could just take the monthly payouts. Over time, yo, bro, you are going to get paid more money if you take the monthly payouts. But if you take that upfront payment, you are going to lose a lot of that money. You're going to feel richer up front. You are going to feel good. You're going to feel good with that money. But the moment like that dude eventually that took the payout starts to get more money than you, you're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. I got the same lottery winnings as him. Why is he getting more money? Oh, well, he said he waited for the rest of it to come in. Like, that's what he waited for. It's common sense. I mean, I just, you know, like you said, they were trying to steal an election. They were trying to rig something.
The only reason I would take the lump sum is that I could die tomorrow.
No, that's I know. Obviously, it was a good analogy. But
in a perfect world,
yeah, it was a shitty analogy, but a good
world,
one.
Sure.
Yeah,
in a perfect world, sure. But like, you know, shit should be happening left to right. So just give me my call now. Cause like I said, I can have it.
Thank God. Thank God they counted those ballots immediately. If he had to wait like a couple months or a year for that recount, I don't know about that.
And it was still hilarious that he had no idea that it's a bipartisan process counting the votes. He was trying to say, oh, the Democrats are not letting these people in to go do their job voting. He was riling up his followers.
Yeah, talking about they're like
breaking in. Oh, look, they're just stealing the votes and throwing out the
go
votes.
To the polls. Like, what do you think? Like, I think he was trying to rile them up. He thought they was gonna go in there and try to destroy the polls or some shit. Like, and then fuck up the election or something crazy and incite war.
It's just crazy that now there's so many people that are just straight up doing what they should have been doing a while ago. Like reporters are now questioning back when, you know, the White House press secretary says something and it's not factual. Now they're actually like, no, that's not factual. And you're catching them in a tizzy. But I'm like, you should have been doing this from 2016.
Yeah.
Why you waited till now? Or that dude where, was it that old white guy was like, oh, is this the real news or the fake news? And the guy was like, fuck off on live TV. And then turned around and he was smiling like, yeah. And I'm like, you should have been doing that from 2016.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh my God.
That shit is just crazy, man. But thank God Thank God he's out of here, man. I'm so ready to
Thank
move
God he's
past
out of here because it's back to the regular racism.
regular racism. Yes, yes. It's back to fighting regular racism. Yes. Like,
Oh.
I'm fucking pumped, bro. I'm pumped to go back to the regular struggle. Yo, no more struggle plus, just regular struggle. Pretty much, man. Hey, we take our wins where we can, right? Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's back to step one. I was like negative. Back to step one, and now we can continue with what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So smoke that Trump pack, and it was crazy. It was a blowout.
Yeah, it was a blowout. Yeah. And honestly, did I think that was gonna happen? I felt like I thought it was gonna happen. I just didn't know where it was gonna come from. Exactly. Yeah. I didn't know where it was gonna come from. Like, because even Hillary, like, you got to look at Hillary. Hillary won the popular vote, but she didn't win it where she needed to win those votes. Like, that's where that stuff matters. So,
more campaigning in those areas.
Exactly.
But what's crazy is I look at that and I look at COVID-19 and its subsequent, stimulus money and protections for people contributed to why they flipped Trump. And I look at it and say, if we didn't have a pandemic, Trump would have won that election. And I'm like, that's just crazy. It took a pandemic and 250,000 people dying for people to be like, you know what? I can't do this.
Yeah, we can't have a guy in there that don't want us to wear a mask and probably doesn't want us to get vaccinated.
I voted for Trump in 2016, and right now I'm about to lose my house, and he promised me that I would have all the money. And now look at you. Man. So yeah. Got him up out of here. That's a wonderful thing.
That's a wonderful thing.
And to piggyback off of that, you were talking about how you went to Florida, and I know you wanted to kind of touch base on some of your poorer experiences.
Oh man, in that realm, man.
So I'll let you tell.
Yeah, man. The traveling just to Florida, bro. Like I think and just like the pandemic overall. It's just incited a lot of like crazy experiences on the road, man. I was on the road just going to Florida, bro. And like, I just had like crazy experiences where like, I just feel like people are more daring. They're just a lot more dangerous. I don't know if it's the psyche of like crazy drivers. Cause I'm from New York. I drive all the time. I've never had an experience where I feel like, yo, bro, you gotta like, you either like somebody's trying to like threaten your life on the road, but like I felt like that occurred one too many times down south. And I don't know, obviously, like, is that a thing? Maybe because, where we're at and like, what I'm saying, person of color and, white people being racist, what I'm saying? What is it? What is the situation? Or, and it's just crazy, man, when you really dive into like driver psyche. Like driver psyche is just incredibly insane in 2020. Like, man, I really found myself in situations where like, people brake checking me, trying to put me in like situations with my car, like trying to stop me and hurt me in mine. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And, like you really have to control yourself. And, should I liken it to the Gucci and Jeezy situation? You have to be an adult in a situation where things can potentially get dangerous and fatal. So like that shit was just really crazy, man. Like experiencing that. And I know for you is, and for many people in the metropolitan area, we don't drive. Like most of us aren't drivers because we are in a metro city, so we take the train, we use PT. But man, these roads is just becoming more crazy by the day, and I think I definitely got that the gist of that in Florida, because like these motherfuckers are just like, yo, this is crazy,
it's
man.
Not crazy. It's just like hearing it and then you telling me your experiences. I'm like, wow, like it's true. That's exactly what people are saying.
People are saying, and the pandemic just unfortunately, like it only accelerated it because more open roads. People are just like more racist, more like brazen on the road, flipping. Like it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. But man, I don't even know. That shit is crazy. That shit is so crazy. My ass, actually. And it's so funny, though, like, actually, to transition into the next thing, while I was driving down, actually, the day I got to Florida, I was supposed to be online for the BMW kits drop. Man, but these resellers, bro, they getting out of hand, my G. They just got everything on Smash. Like, it's crazy.
Yo, with the PS5 shit, it is getting, yo, I cannot believe.
What?
Like it's gone. It's just straight up gone like that. And
Like
I'm just
that?
like, I cannot believe like what is, it's just like I don't understand these companies that are also not under realizing the landscape or just don't care. Like it's either you're not paying attention or you don't care, and you have to pay attention. I feel like they just, it's honestly that they just don't care because you have these limited stocks and you're doing these sporadic, or you're doing these time things, but these are the things that are setting up people for failure.
Hmm.
You tell people the time, the bots get ready, and then the website crashes, and they have to do something, some sort of verification, like one entry per person, or it can't, some IP address tracker, if it's all coming out of the same IP, like only one request is going to go through, something like it has to be, I don't know,
Yeah.
something to try to like, and I don't want to hear no as an excuse, because I can't imagine these companies are making dollar over dollar. Like you have to be able to do something to alleviate this, because it's not just PS5s. Like we said, we were talking about the 30 series cards constantly selling out. I'm trying to check for 3080, 3070. I'm like, oh, let me see. I'll go now in stock. All right, click it, gone. And I'm like, it's you. I got the notification 11:20 and I'm on the website 11:20 and it's already out of
That shit
stock.
is
And I'm
already
like, this
sold
is
out.
just,
It's
and it's
crazy.
just like you said, it's just everything now. It's just like this. It goes up and then it's gone.
Hmm.
And you're just like, that's just crazy. Like nobody can get these things, and there's no reason for this.
Yeah, no, like when you really actually step back, like, and just think about like the status of just like how we've gotten here, and just like how do we even move forward? Like, I think me and wife, we talk about it all the time, and it's like it's gotten to that point of like, yo, we might actually have to invest in a bot, like, because I know I can probably find a way to acquire the services of something that
Yeah.
could automatically make my purchases. Like, I'm definitely smart enough to figure it out, but like shit, like we really are at that point because you really can't purchase anything you want, like a bag for your girlfriend or jewelry for your girlfriend, or do you want to buy your favorite video game system? Do you just need a new like appliance that a lot of people might want for, so like it don't matter what it is, it could be anything, like anything that has social cachet of any kind. Like resellers, if they hear about it, they are on it and they will purchase it, and it's a wrap. And it's just kind of like, man, I don't know when we've gotten, like when we've allowed it to get this bad, or I don't know if it's like just the pandemic has, I think the pandemic obviously has put in a little bit of more of a strain on supply and production
Yeah.
availability. So I will give that most of the credit. But I feel like we do need to make a hardcore return to the brick and mortar store, man. Like things have to be purchased at physical locations, and you need to make things physically available to people, whether through partner stores and doing things like that, and being able to just make it available on everybody's market so that everybody has a fair shot at physically being able to go get your product. Because I'm telling you, like, and it has to be one person physically, but like, you know what I'm
We're
saying? Like,
not there for a total online kind of shopping experience.
mhm.
Plenty of people do not have the resources internet wise to be doing that. And
Yeah,
also people don't necessarily look to do that because they want it now.
yeah,
That's the beauty of it too. If you pick it up physically, you can grab it and you get home and you plug it in. That's why people still like the physical. I go in, get out, no hassle. I don't got to worry about waiting, taking a day off to go get this, hopefully he comes by 4 p.m. or some shit, so you didn't waste the day. You don't got to worry
yeah.
about all that. You
What?
just got to worry about, I hope I can get it. Oh, look, I got it in store, going home. Now I can
And I
play it.
love that you mentioned that, because like, yo, that's another thing now. I mean, forget about it. I've dealt with that for years now, but the whole new thing that motherfuckers out of the mail, they robbing the asset out of the mail. Like, yo, your PS5 in the mail. You know how many people have lost your PS5? They've stolen packages and whole parcels and whole shipments of PS5s. And I'm not gonna sit there and put this all on resellers. Obviously, this is just dirty at play. Like, it's really
Yeah.
tough times right now, man. If that's happening, like they're taking whole parcels of PS5s, that means like this might be stores, this might be corporations getting dirty, this might be like
And if you're
businesses,
not
shipment
home,
companies,
like,
like
right. And if you're not home, if you're somebody that still has to go to work or step out at any point in time, that package gets delivered. Like it was a problem before, but if it's happening now, but still that contributes to that. You had to spend all this effort on trying to get it. then you get it, then it gets stolen. And now the process starts again. Are they going to, tell you, all right, we'll replace it? Probably not. Now you got to go through the whole process again, and it's the same equal chances if you got a house, because sometimes, people just be walking through the gate, running up, grabbing it, and then running around the corner from picking it up on somebody's doorstep. And if you ain't home, you would have no idea, because sometimes they do that. They leave it wherever unless you specify. And then listen, sometimes you get some guy and he doesn't read what's specified or whatever the case may be. Now your package gets stolen. And then if you're in a building too, like unless sometimes they don't knock on your door, they just drop it off in the front, and then you got to go to the front and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to the front and somebody's down there and they looking at packages and, the box kind of looks like, oh, I think there might be, that look like something could be in it, they just take your shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
It happened in my building. Like, it didn't happen to me, but I ran into my super and it almost happened to me. And he was calling me. He's like, yo, he was just like, I saw your name on the package, because he was like, somebody's looking, and he was just like trying to crack it open. And he's looks like the guy don't look like that's his package. Like, you wouldn't open it right there. So he's just saying like, yo, like it's been like 4 times in like 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, that's just crazy. Like, what is going on that people just feel compelled
to
you don't even know what's
in there, bro?
Like, what if it was some shit that somebody needed?
Yeah, nah, like, they don't give a fuck. Needed. What? They don't care. They don't care no more. They don't even care no more, bro. It's sad times, bro. Sad times.
Sad times. But yeah, so hopefully some changes, or maybe 2021 will have better stock, better production.
Yeah. For
all around. Maybe that's really what it is, but I don't know. Resellers to me have just been a problem in the sneaker industry for so long, and I just really seeing it seep into everything else.
Yeah.
And like, listen, if you buy like 1, 2, 3 pairs and you do that, that's fine. I'm talking about the people who buy like 10 plus.
10 plus, man. It's
10 plus.
And like that's
5 plus is kind of pushing it.
Yeah, that shit is just crazy. It's just so crazy to me, because then I started to just get into the mentality of like, damn, like, that shit is not even hard work. Like, you really got to ask yourself, like, or, is that, if it's not hard work for you guys, like, all right, like, man, like, what kind of, like, lifestyle is that? Like, damn, like, those are full-time jobs for those people. I'll be honest. Like, resellers do it full-time and can, like, make full-time incomes off of it. Like, we're talking about fully funding your lifestyle by sitting online, using a bot to acquire assets, and then taking those assets and selling them at, like, price gouging pricing.
Price gouging pricing.
Yeah, like, you just robbing people, essentially. You're essentially robbing people. That's what you're doing. You're robbing, like, you're taking money from the company. Like, you're just taking people's ability to buy things at company prices already. So whatever is already extremely high to them, you're making them pay even more to get it. Like, I cannot respect that. I'm unfortunately, like, I can't do it unless if that's like your full-time occupation. It's too like that's realistically what it boils down to. And, I don't like to do it, because, like, I've definitely done it. I've partaken, like, everybody partakes in some weird things sometimes, like, that they might not, like, really sit back and think about it. But one day you think about it, you just kind of like, oh, well, shit, that's kind of foul. Like, I've bought a pair of 350s or 750s for $350, and I sold it online for over $2,000. I made somebody really pay almost 10 times the pricing for an asset. Like, that shit is foul, like, when I actually sit back and think about it. But it's like, wow, I got lucky. Me knowing, like, my pockets, I was a broke college kid. I needed that money. Like, I really needed it. So, like, hey, it's one of those situations where it is what it is. So, like, I don't blame resellers, but at the same time, it is tough, man. In 2020, I don't know exactly how I feel about them.
Get your coin.
Yeah.
Get your coin, but at the same time, respect that other people are trying to get their coin too and might not necessarily have the funds to go crazy for these prices. Like, I can understand a markup of, let's say, all right, some 350s, that's what, 225 on average. You mark them up 250, 275. So you're trying to get, an extra $50 off of each pair. That's understandable. A little 25, 50 by saying, I have the supply, I can, this is my marker for me having it. Just a little something. But if you're talking about, I'm selling them for $775, all of these are only $775 each. Like, that's just absurd. Like, you're constantly overcharging. And it's just also too, like, people just are willing to shell that out that amount. And I just think, like, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's just, It's
Yeah.
hard for me to wrap around my head that like I know like how much I'm willing to spend on something, and I just cannot imagine somebody who's saying like, you know what, I just need this so much, I'm gonna shell out this amount.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's gonna stop it. And you spoke exactly what I was like thinking. Like, bro, the only thing that's gonna stop this is that people just gotta stop paying those prices. And that's me. Hey, I'm comfortable just waiting. If you're smart, you know that a PlayStation 5 will be available in if you can wait 2-3 more months, bro, you're gonna have a PlayStation 5 max. Like, and I don't think that's murder. Like the average person usually doesn't get that console first day. Like, I know growing up, the way it worked is that when the new console came out, I didn't get it till Christmas. Like, so Christmas time was the time I knew I was getting that new console. Like, but you know, obviously we're adults, we could afford things now, bro. Hey, people just need to learn to humble themselves. Hey, enjoy the process, bro. You cannot get it immediately. Just wait, man. In 3 months, you're gonna have it for MSRP. You didn't have to pay $1,200. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I mean, hey. It is what it is.
It'll happen. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
And lastly, we'll just go briefly over
touch the free agency, a little NBA free agency action.
Little NBA free agency action.
Yeah.
We're getting a little something before, they start back up in a month.
In a month now, yeah. The 22nd, I think. Yeah, the 22nd. And then the preseason is going to be, I think, the week before. So, like, literally in less than 30 days, we're going to have basketball again. I mean, hey, the free agency, it was interesting. Like, I didn't, like, pay attention too much to the action, but
it wasn't that crazy of a free agency.
I mean, the Lakers...
It's still going, but it's little things, really. Like, it doesn't seem to be anything massive.
Yeah, Lakers got better. Like, honestly, I feel like they really just the focus of this topic because, like, the Lakers, man, the clutch, man, I'm feeling salty. Because I feel like they they got better.
Schroeder, crazy. Shred. That's another good scoring.
Man, they got Marcus Gasol like in place of losing two seven footers.
I'm iffy on because he's really shown his age with Toronto.
Yeah,
he really didn't play that much, and he looked really gassed. So I'm not sure if maybe they just got him for Jokic, just somebody to like hold down when you got to go through the Nuggets again. Like, here, play that out, and that's all I need from you.
Yeah,
if you go back to the bench.
Which is funny though, because I feel like he's like he's mobile, but not like mobile at the same time. Because you're right, his age is showing, so he's not that same big that could go in and out. And even though he can play in and out, he can't do it fast, not like Jokic. Yeah. So it's just gonna be interesting to see.
He's missing like a little bit of the lift on like his little hooks on his three.
Yeah,
so he just looks a little deflated. We got Fred VanVleet getting the 4-year, 85.
Yeah, he got paid
from Toronto. He got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. So you got, man, shout out to Fred. You know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum got paid. Donovan Mitchell got paid. So it's been crazy. Like, just like everybody getting paid.
Jordan decided to pay Gordon Hayward.
Jordan just continued to show himself like as the worst owner in sports, bro. He's just not good at his job. Like, it's just not like, I don't know how to like. I just don't know. He's just not good at it.
Bogdan, 72, 4 years for the Hawks, but Kings got to match it if they want him. Joe Harris staying in Brooklyn. Gally going to Atlanta. Goran staying in Miami. Oh, Jeremy Grant going to the Pistons, 3 years, $60 million. Good for him.
Yeah. It's just it's a weird free agency. It wasn't like actually now I think about it. Clippers. That was a pretty decent acquisition. I think people underrated that a little bit because I think although Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell played well in the second unit and that was like a whole good thing. Montrezl Harrell, man, he just showed his size like big time in the playoffs. Man, they were killing him. Kristaps in round 1, and then in round 2. Yeah. You had Jokic. Jokic just was absolutely beating the shit out of him. So I think it just shows that, and I think the Lakers are gonna find out. Like they're kind of happy they got Montrez. Wait until y'all run into some defensive issues. You see that Marc Gasol is not Dwight nor JaVale. Like, y'all gave a mad size, like to just give yourself an immobile big that can pass, and then an undersized power forward that can score.
For the trade deadline, they ship somebody out
Yeah,
again.
we'll see what happens. Let's see.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, they got Wesley Matthews too, Lakers. I
yeah,
forgot
and they
about
think
that.
he's that much better than Danny Green. I don't think he's as good as a defender. Yeah, he is a 3-and-D, but
Yeah.
he's not as smart as Danny Green. Danny Green is not a good, like, he's a streaky 3-point shooter, but he has good IQ. He has decent enough IQ, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it
Yeah.
is.
I'm trying to think. There's nothing else really that. Oh, Drew Holiday getting traded to Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee thinks that's enough for Giannis to
stay. Yeah, I don't think the only thing that's keeping him there is a title, boy. A title.
That's it.
I think that, you know what, it's crazy though, because they are committed to him. If Giannis is smart, I'm taking that money, man. They're committed to that dude. Money, yeah, because of that much money. Like,
but I totally understand. And it's unfortunate, which is just lends itself to I really just dislike if you don't have rings, you're not shit.
Yeah.
Because now it's forcing players to be like, I got to do what I can to get a ring ASAP. And like, now it's just, it kind of leaves some of these teams that are committed, but I honestly think too, Milwaukee, I understand they're not trying to like lose their entire team, but if your guy is saying, I need help or I want these, you might have to shake it up.
Yeah.
Like you just straight up shake it up. At the very least on that last year, you got to shake it up a lot and say like, this is it. Get him, or, we'll work with what we got and figure it out from there. But
I think
if you have a one in a lifetime player that, if he leaves, you're never going to get that for another 50, 60 years. You got to do what you can to keep him there, to me, at all costs. Whatever, if it means luxury tax, if it means trade somebody, you got to do what you got to do.
What you got to do. Yeah, I do think they're going to be a lot better, though. Actually, I think those two pickups, forget about it, is a little underrated,
very
too.
Consistent. Yeah. Holiday's a very consistent guard.
I think that's like almost 40 points per game, those two pickups between Bogdanovich and Drew. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited for the NBA season, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And lastly, you were saying we could touch base on with this free agency. Clutch Sports has really been.
Oh yeah. No, they're grass, man. I kind of hinted to that a little bit, but I was just like saying really, and like it's not really separate from the whole free agency, but more so like, their grasp just runs deep, man, when you really think about it. Like, I know a couple of weeks ago they had that conversation, at least in the NBA media world, where they were saying, does LeBron maybe, or Clutch Sports, or Rich Paul, do they have a little bit too much influence? You know what I'm saying? I think an agent was kind of like, ruffling feathers behind the scenes, and it became a little bit of a story. And, I feel like, it's like the Montrezl Harrell, a good example of it. Like, this is a dude that could have easily commanded 20 mil. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the market a year. He's a 6 man of the year. 6 man of the year is not a 9 mil a year player. Like, people like who don't win, like people who are not winning awards at all are getting paid more than that. So it's just kind of like, for him to take a 2-year contract, 9 mil, just because he's going to win a ring. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird.
Yeah. I just wonder if we're looking at this and saying like, oh, because it's Rich Paul and he got ties to LeBron, like he's obviously doing things to help LeBron, when it could have been Montrezl. Like, you know what? Not saying you. I'm just saying like in general. Like I think that's why like you have execs saying that, because they just feel like, all right, if your guys are friends, it's going to be always completely impartial.
Exactly.
You might just straight up be like, I'm trying to be a good agent. I think that's why he gets names, because he's clearly a good agent. I think. I mean, shit, because you could say, look at little Trunks in the background.
So, he just ran through. Oh yeah, he just ran in. Yo, I didn't even see that.
You don't give a two shits.
Yeah, what? I just heard the door slam on the wall, like.
So I think like, he's a good agent, because that's why people go to him, and also like he got fucking Tristan Thompson paid. Remember, he did not deserve that 80 mil. What was it, like 4 years back, way back when? And he got him that coin. So it might have just straight up been Montrezl's decision to be like, I don't got to go nowhere else, and I could just run it back real quick to get a ring, then get my coin after.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and maybe. Definitely, like you said, I'm definitely not of the ilk. I just feel like it is a little bit of a thing that, like you said, like you have that one tie that, okay, LeBron isn't not only in this agency, Rich Paul. It's not that they're helping LeBron, but they definitely see it like, okay, like, I could get this ring real quick with LeBron. And like the people who play on LeBron's teams get paid. Like you get paid if you play with LeBron. So like, you know, and if you're like under his agency, you tend to get paid. Like you tend to end up on a LeBron team and then you get paid. Like that's how that works. Like if you're under Clutch Sports. So you know, it's just interesting. Like that was just like my dynamic, you know. Like, and I, you know, I'll just continue to watch that. I always say I continue to watch that as the years go, but like, you know, I don't know. LeBron, I don't know how long that clock is going to keep going for the man, but you know, we'll see. That title window is definitely still open.
Yeah, definitely still open, and we'll see. Because if I think shit, he get 5.
Gold conversation still open. Yep, we're gonna see, man. Let's see.
We'll see. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening to the new format, the new rejuvenated Touch the City Season 2, episode 32, back again, and we will be bringing it to you bi-weekly now. But don't worry, we're gonna make it up for longer episodes, you know, so we give you all of that content.
Media.
Give you the media episodes got a little bit more beef on them. So we hope everybody's doing all right, and that you guys all, you know, while we were away, you know, we hope that time away was helpful for you as well.
Yeah.
So thank y'all again for tuning in, and we will catch y'all in the next one.